Welcome. This is a quick tutorial on how I use this resource with my students, and I'll share any tips and tricks that work for me. But please, of course, do feel free to modify as you see fit for your students. This is a fun activity for students who are working on simply describing or reasoning by describing what they see. So the main activity asks the students to make a guess about a hidden picture behind these shadows. And then they'll have to answer the question, how do you know? And justify their answers by describing the shapes that they see. And this particular one is a Halloween version. I'll show you later, but there's also a Thanksgiving/fall and Christmas version. So mainly the end of the year holidays. Okay. And each deck, actually going back a little, starts with a teaching page. You'll always want to prime the students with what's to come. So this page tells a student what adjectives are, and they get to familiarize with the vocabulary in this activity. So because the main goal is the use of these adjectives, the vocabs are pretty basic, but they might learn new words here and there as well. So who knows? And because they are visual traits, each adjective is a little visual character, so hopefully it'll help them make the association. And yeah, use this page to familiarize them. The first step. Preview it together. So pointy, bumpy, zigzag, or jagged. Feel free to throw in any of the synonyms that you like to work on with them. And you go one by one, and then you go to the next page. Whoops, they got undressed. So each character's describing words popped off. So as a group, I'd like to go over it together and have everybody like echo it together. Pointy, bumpy, zigzag, or jagged, curvy, bent, things like that. And after this, if your students are ready to go to the main activity, just press this arrow button. If you feel like they can use one more practice saying the words, because they're going to have to use these words, go ahead and click on here. And then, whoops, they got undressed again, but this time it's all mixed up. So it's a second time, but it's a little different. It's going to make them think, and you can go out of order. Okay, so curly, okay, next person, okay, let's try the curvy, okay, let's address the pointy, and so on. When that's done, press the arrow key, and you'll get to the written instructions. But this is what we're going to be going over in this tutorial, so moving right along, and we're back to this page. So you're going to start by saying something like, okay, here's a silhouette or a shadow. What do you think this is? And because we're very close to Halloween time when we do this, students are thinking, oh, Halloween. So they usually go straight to, I think it's a pumpkin. And then I'll ask them, how do you know? It's just a shadow. And that's when these adjectives come in. And first, you're going to, of course, model it. So you may say something like, okay, I see it's bumpy at the top. It's also bumpy around the bottom. Okay, and I see it's kind of round and chubby in the middle, just like a pumpkin. And also at the top, I do see a little piece that's a little curvy and skinny, just like the stem of a pumpkin. So maybe it is a pumpkin. Let's find out. And then you get to reveal what's behind the shadow. Whoosh! And then usually the first picture they see is different or counterintuitive from what their guesses were. And students usually enjoy it. They'll be like, oh, you tricked us. Or real competitive types can get really bummed out. One or the other. But after the initial reaction, you can just say, oh, just kidding. And you may move this one over and reveal the one after or underneath it. And it's usually the one that they guessed. Okay. So this is how it goes. And like I said, this deck is all about Halloween theme. And this is also a great opportunity for students to describe what the drawing that they see or the picture that they see besides the shadow. So they may say, oh, I think this is a broom because it's zigzag at the bottom and it has a long, tall, long, straight, and skinny part at the top, just like a broom. And when you open it, it's not a broom right away. And again, have the students describe the picture. Oh, so it's an octopus that's spraying ink is what it looks like. Correct. Things like that. Okay. So this is interesting because after a while, students are going to start to second guess themselves and they're going to start to give you some really interesting answers. So that's a lot of fun. In this particular deck, they're all silhouettes, but let me show you the other versions too. This one, okay. So here's a fall version. And some of these, in this deck, there's one that is no surprise. So this particular one, you can say, oh, not really sure what it is. It's really bumpy all over the place. It's kind of pointy in the back. It could look like an alligator. And then whoosh, no surprise. So it is what it is. And you cannot move it again to reveal anything underneath it. Okay. So the Christmas deck also has one of these, I believe. So here we go. These are some of the ones that you might see in the Christmas version. Oh, this particular one, it's also a little counterintuitive. It does look like a snowman. When you open it, ta-da, it is a snowman. But this one actually has a silly one hiding underneath it. So I like to include some element of surprise or some talking points, something that might stir up the conversation. So just have fun with that, okay? So as always, use it as creatively as you like and describe away. And I hope you and your students have fun.